Thank you. I think maybe you'd want me, instead of take off clothes, to put more on.
Put it on!
The first one I wrote a couple of weeks ago, after I got out of a hospital, and it's not balanced. It's to our good friends in the National Rifle Association. Someday, as they continue to grow in power, the NRA will become even more of a driving force to align itself with other groups of power to the Tea Party and their ilk. Buy even more lobbyists, to buy even more politicians, to get its steel-jacketed, cold-lead ways to secure its God-given right so that anyone can own and carry and use the big and bigger missiles of destruction for self-protection and for mistakes too. For they would have us all believe that the only way to stop those who have guns from preying on those who don't is to pass a law that everyone, except those they exclude, will be forced to carry a gun, to even things out. Hell, that's what democracy's all about, ain't it? Take a gander, it's right there in the Constitution. And think how good it will be for employment for our friends in the gun manufacturers when everybody has to buy and carry one. And sure, them poor little kids who have been shot in schools, why, we have a solution to that too. Not only teachers, but every little kid should be given a pistol and an assault rifle to protect themselves. Hey, it ain't guns that kill kids, it's kids that kill kids. So don't you go blaming it on the guns, you assholes. Hell, guns are the only sacred, not only sacred, but they're sexy. For who needs Viagra? For when you can just put your hand on the butt of a gun. Hey, take a look. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. And anyway, you never feel more like a real man until you've just fucked a woman or killed another man. And all weapons should be available to us whenever we want them. Not just the little gunny guns, but the big boys too. You know, the assault rifles, limitless shells in the clip, and the bazookas, and the howitzers, and those weapons you see advertised in gun magazines that can bring down a passenger airplane. And Lord, I ain't kidding, for it feels so damn good just to hold one in your hands. Makes me feel like God. And big bombs in our basements too. And come hunting season, you should see how many of those little doves I can kill with an assault rifle. Woo! And sure, it may be true that some bad guys want to rob me of my gun. Or if they know I'm carrying a gun, shoot me first. But I'm always at the ready, because we got a right to make a preemptive strike. Hell, we did it in Iraq. If it's good enough for Bush, it's good enough for me. And to be safe too, and to be about to kill first to anyone we feel might be a danger to us, or if someone pisses you off too. Hell, shoot first and ask questions later. That's my motto, and anyway, it sure gives me a good story to tell the boys. And hey, it's right in the Constitution. Just read it if you can. Fist bump, Bo! And of course, we can't allow everybody to have guns, and since we know the guns so well, it should be us who decides who gets them. None of those cowardly peaceniks who don't know a gun from their ass, and those Democrats too. We can decide who gets them. So go up in the attic, boys, and get them sheets out. Happy days are here again. Woo! Ha! Fist bump, bubba! And if you study the issues, you will see that it's not just them, it's just them mentals that cause all the problems. All the shootings in the public places that we own, so all we have to do is round them up while they're still young and put them in institutions and never let them out. Because when they're different, anything can happen. We have to do this for our safety. Hell, it's right there in the Constitution. As for those of you who oppose this, well, your skins and bones break easy, so no guns for you. But in the spirit of compromise, slingshots would be okay if you register them. For we have to let our God-given aggressions out on someone, right? And even prisoners should be allowed pea shooters, because you know what those guards are carrying on their hip. So guns should not have to be registered, but if you ask me what should be registered, it's ideas and words like gun control and vote Democratic and such. And we gun holders should be allowed to patent and copyright them words so only we can say them if we ever do. And lots of other words and ideas too, which we'll figure out later. You know, them words and ideas have always troubled me. So we will have to pass a law as to anyone who breaks it. And hell, it's hunting season if they do, and I can't wait. Woo! So take great care, America, for what can be imagined can become reality someday soon. And how many more have to be maimed, or die before we do something about it. Not someday soon, but now. Yeah, not then, but now. And my second and last poem is a poem called God Bored. God is grand, God is good, we are told, the maker of all that is. Nothing else exists but what God has made, and He, can it really be a He? How big is His dick? made it by Himself with no help, and no one to share it with. And God, this entity alone, must be unbearably lonesome, which explains why, alone, He made it all, but still, there's no one to ask, how was your day, God? No one to talk to, even if there were. We would not understand all God would have to say. So God created life and man, and a woman from man's rib. A man's rib, really? Did He need a man's rib to make a woman? But don't ask, because thou shalt not question the ways of the Lord. And so God created man and women, and then sin, and then the casting out of the garden, and all that has happened since. And we who love and hate and make war on each other, all of virtues and deadly sins, and so we are players in the boring and exciting grand reality show brought into play by the God Network. And because He was bored with only this TV show and no challenges to meet, created a mighty creature to occupy His time. God invented time too. And He invented the devil, Satan, and created his kingdom He called hell to give God a challenge. The universe's first war games. God invented war too. And so God found a new sense of purpose and a way to fill His time. And so was no longer bored. Gave Him reason to get up every day. Even though I don't think God ever sleeps, so I might have tried it once or twice just to see what it feels like. And we should thank our lucky stars. God made them too, as well as the unlucky ones. Because if He lost interest and stopped thinking about us, and all of it, we and it would just disappear and be gone, as though we never were. So with all the pain and problems God allowed in His created world, I guess we should be really thankful. And two, to come to realize that though God is grand, God is good, God's not all that we think He's cracked up to be. So God, from us to you, stay busy, stay occupied, and don't get bored, and don't forget about us, your grand reality show, as long as we do not end up killing ourselves with our astounding stupidity, and so canceling all your fun, making you come up with something new to fill your time, or whatever it is that you exist in. So keep on keeping on, God, so we can too. And that is why we love you. See, God created love.